Are you a SaaS CEO that's struggling to get users to register and stick on your SaaS product? Give me the next 5 minutes and I'm going to show you the 3 fundamental root causes of any marketing campaign failure. And it's all related to feedback loops. So let's take a look at what your marketing campaign is like from a systems point of view. From a systems point of view, you have your marketing, and that's your marketing system. That's how you find a campaign and run a campaign. And you, of course, have your inputs. So these are your ideas about what is going to work, your customer understanding, and the outputs, of course, are, conversions, registrations, click-through rates. And of course, you're listening to the outputs and you're taking feedback and you're putting it here and you're changing your inputs. You're learning from your process. So this is like really basic system that represents your marketing campaign. And there's 3 failure points. The first failure point would be right here, would be that actually fundamentally your positioning is wrong. And there could be many reasons for that, but you could be attracting the wrong kind of audience. You could be attracting non-buyers. You could be attracting people that never want to ascend and become paying users. So what that means is if you are putting non-buyers, if your positioning is broken, that means that this feedback loop, you're optimizing for the wrong thing. That could be one of the fundamental issues. The other fundamental issue is that you're not isolating the steps of your marketing process. So when something happens, you don't actually understand why. You don't know why you're getting the results that you're getting. So if your marketing process is kind of random, that means that you can't isolate the issues and know what's actually working. So this is the other second fundamental issue. Third is the entire time that it takes you to do this whole loop. What's the time it takes you to go from an input to an output? So to represent that, I'm just going to remember how to draw an hourglass here. So if this loop time is slow, that could be the third problem. And so the fixes to these, there's actually 3 fundamental fixes. Number 1 is you nail your positioning and you make sure you're using high intent messaging to get buyers and only take feedback from the buyers. Number 2 is you use a 24-hour feedback loop. So you want to be iterating on your whole marketing campaign ideas every 24 hours. I hear teams, they launch a campaign and they don't know if it worked for 2-3 months. You can actually be using 24-hour feedback loop to iterate much, much faster. And then lastly, you want to take your marketing process and you want to isolate each element of the messaging in the campaign. And so you have these small baby steps and you actually isolate each one. Each one is testing and learning on a very specific element. And that's how you know if that element is functioning or not. And so with isolation, you can tell, is it, your messaging? Is it your headlines? Is it something about the channel? You can figure all of that out because you're isolating each one. So those are the 3 problems and the 3 solutions. And basically the way you can get this whole system to find you the right campaign faster is by engineering massive feedback.